Knock, open up the door, it's real. Woo! Stop, pop out, and stainless steel. Go hard, getting busy with it. But I got such a good heart that I make the...
Damn, I love DMX. Holy smokes, rest in peace. Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you, everyone. Give another round of applause to everyone that came up before me. Woo! Yeah, a lot of talk about traffic in Surrey and White Rock. And it reminded me of a story. Pretty much I was driving down one day and I cut this guy off rushing to a meeting, and then all of a sudden the guy pulled up at the next light. He said, "Go back to Surrey." And I'm like, I'm actually from Coquitlam. But I ended up, I'm like, you know what, I'll take his advice, whatever. I end up driving around Wally for 3 days after that. Took me a couple of years to come back from that relapse. Anyways, I'm super grateful to be here. Super, super grateful to have like this blessing and this honor to just be alive and breathing, right? And be with such a cool crew. It feels like family. Yeah, like my story, a big part of it, I guess like I wasn't born in this country, I was born overseas, and I'm the oldest of 4, right? And then growing up, like I don't know if you've ever sat next to a kid in class and you just like, you can smell his mom's cooking off him, right? That's pretty much what I grew up with. Like my mom, like bless her soul, I love her so much. But like growing up, we lived in this small little place, and I was like, you know, she loved cooking with spices. Spices, like anything that you could think of that would just have a strong smell. And so basically I'd go and my shirt would smell like curry, my pants would smell like curry, my bag, and then also my soul too. Like it's just, so I smelled like an Indian restaurant everywhere I went, right? Like, no wonder the guy told me to go back to Surrey. Like, go back there. I'm like, fuck, I hate that bridge. So, you know, imagine me as a kid, you know, like 6, 7 years old, rolling up, and like I ended up in like, you know, commercial Broadway in East Vancouver when we first came to Canada, and then we kind of moved out east towards Coquitlam and the Tri-Cities, which was cool, but I was the only brown kid. So, you know, I'd sit in class and I'd have a couple different like white friends and stuff like that, and they used to call me Binder. That was my nickname, because I'd sit down and be like, oh shit, there you go, here's Curry Boy, right? So I'm like, no one else smelled like curry except me, right? So yeah, that's where kind of like that name started, and I just rolled with it, right? Because I was chasing acceptance, right? Validation, and just trying to fit in. But kids can get cruel real quick, especially if English is like your 3rd or 4th language, and you're trying to roll in. But everything changed. Everything changed when 9/11 happened, right? When that whole thing happened, we started getting treated even more differently, right? Like having a Muslim background, Pakistani, Irani, and at the same time, smelling like curry. like, yo, I didn't smell like mashed potatoes, I'll tell you that much. Holy fuck. I did wish though, like I moved away when I was like in my late teens trying to get clean and sober, and basically, that's the first thing I missed was my mom's cooking, right? I'm like, oh, god damn, I'm sick and tired of these fucking meatloafs and shit. I'm like, wow, you have any salt and pepper and hot sauce? Like, god damn. You know, like you only get grateful when you lose it, right? And then you start to appreciate it. But yeah, like it's a cool gift. But yeah, anyways, like basically when 9/11 happened, you know, we started getting stopped more at the border, especially at the airports and all that kind of stuff. So like we literally were actually so blessed too, because COVID finally started somewhere else, right? We had this pandemic, and we want to I want to thank the Chinese, I want to thank the Asians. Woo! Thank you. Oh, thank God. We dodged a bullet. I don't care. I'll wear a mask. Just don't stop me for 3 hours at CBSA, right? Like, is that milk? Like, you know, like I just, yeah, we've been stopped quite a bit. But it's funny, like I got stopped as a kid and a teenager, but then when I was older and I was actually taking narcotics across the border with me, I never got stopped. I was like, whoo! Hey, like, thank God I'm sitting up here with no criminal record. But that's a miracle in itself. Yeah, so like, you know, as time goes on, Binder started, you know, getting active with sports and everything and all that kind of shit, right, to fit in some more. And then I found this beautiful thing. It was this green, fluffy stuff that you can bust up and roll and smoke. Or do whatever you want. Nowadays, you can do anything with it, right? You can drop it in your mouth anywhere. Drop it in your asshole for all I care, right? People are doing everything. But anyways, when Binder found this green stuff, holy shit, now I'd roll to class, smell like curry, smell like weed, and a huge ball of Axe. Like just now they'll never know I smoked weed before Block 5. Holy smokes, little did I know. Oh my God. Woo! If I can go back in time, I'd make a different Axe flavor or like style, right? Just make an actual curry one. I'll make one. To cover up the weed even more, like for my white friends, right? I'm like, yo, you guys are missing out, bro. Get some of the curry Axe. Curry and naan and some samosas. Fucking dip that shit and eat it. Spray your mouth like. Oh, God. Good times. So Binder evolved, right? Like Binder evolved and then from the green stuff over to this beautiful, fluffy, white stuff, right? That didn't have a smell. I didn't need to steal Axe from the local London drugs anymore, right? Like, just can go in and it's basically, you know, and I didn't have to use Visine anymore, right? It was just like my eyes were like wide open all the time. Like, I'd be walking into class, you know, just sitting in, I'm like, hey, bro. And then the teacher would be like, Jet! It's a test, shut up! And I'd be like, sorry. You know what they say, God damn it. You study high and get high scores, and I truly believed that for many years. And you know, I thought I could get away, right? But life quickly took a huge turn through the whole process. And after high school, kind of just like was going back down, right? Like, you know, I see the look on my mom's face. She's like, holy, you came to this country, the oldest of my 4 children, has like gone to shit, right? And the funny thing is, like, we think we can hide so much from our parents, right? But little do we know, holy smokes, like they see it all. Like they see it all, right? Like give it up to the parents in the room. Like lots of love for your patience, right? And perseverance and not giving up on us. Or the kids who have to deal with their parents that are going through it, right? Like it can go back and forth. But anyway, so basically, you know, it runs in my family, addiction. It does. My grandpa, like back in Iran, southern Iran, this place called Baluchistan is where I'm from, right? And then he smoked opium till the day he died. So addiction is rampant right through. And opium, it's like, here you're smoking weed at the park, there they're smoking opium and drinking tea, right? That's how it works. The opium dens and this and that, but like my grandpa's house was the opium den, right? Like, and yeah, like in my teenagehood, one of my I guess, visits back home. That was our family vacation, was to go back there, right? No, there was no Mexico or anything. It was like, we're going back to see the grandparents, right? And I'd be like, okay, let's go watch Grandpa smoke opium. Like, yay! And all of his friends. Yeah. And I ended up trying it too. I was like, well, this is kind of cool, right? And then it flipped that opiate switch, the opioid receptors, right? And like, it was already there genetically. So my life took a huge turn. But you know, in comparison, these guys, holy smokes, like my grandpa, like these guys would move weight from like, we were pretty much in that whole, like the Silk Road goes up there with like between China and Europe, right? And then the drug trade route is right through our backyard from Afghanistan to the ports. All the drugs went through it, so you're welcome, Canada. Yeah, y'all owe me. Yeah, so you know, like, I could just imagine, like, just like my grandpa and them, like, you know, riding on these prestigious steeds, right? Just galloping down the mountainside with opium on both sides and just going towards the ocean, right? Saying hi to everyone in such a majestic way. And then you fast forward to his grandson, like when I'm 18, just ripping around, selling drugs on the street, like, bro, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And 2 hours later, I'm like, I'm here, where are you? All stressed out, and then you go back to my grandpa, he's just, you know, galloping, just sprinkling opium like he's a savior, right? Like throwing money and paying off the guards and the politicians and the military, right? Just, and then there's me, I'm like, who wants some more? Like 3 a.m. ripping through Wally and Coquitlam and downtown, like, oh man, like my illustrious drug trade career. It's mostly me using all of it. Oh man. I'll tell you right now, there was no noble steed in my story. I had a little Tercel I called a hedgehog. I remember. Later on, there was some nice cars, but at the beginning, holy shit. There's a hole in the muffler, and I'm thinking I'm being inconspicuous, right? 3 a.m., there's no other cars. I'm like, is that a cop? Like, holy shit. I'm like, get the fuck out of my car. Nah, man, I can go on for yeah. So I'm blessed and grateful just to be standing here. Anyways, long story short, Binder ended up having AKA JR, AKA Giand. You know, I came by different names because I was always trying to fit in, but my real name is Giand, right? So that's a cool part. And the main reason why I did this Hilarapy stuff, especially the HRP program, was because, you know, the last time I had a relapse, I was coming to, right, getting Narcan by firefighters, first responders, right, ambulance, and I'm just grateful to be alive, right? And that's the main reason, because there's another pandemic out there, right? Screw the terrorism and all the other COVID stuff. We got people dying, right, from overdose. We got friends and family that aren't making it back, right? So it's really, really dear and near to my heart that all of you guys came today, right? Just to watch and be part of this. And, like, I'm ever grateful that whoever's in the treatment centers, please stay, right? Keep your seats in there. Please do the work and heal, hopefully, right? And connect with the right people, because that's what I had to do, right? So, you know, now if I'm driving, right, driving down, I see this guy shaking on the corner, right, got change in his pocket, like just withdrawal and sitting in the rain, and I'm just gonna drive up to him, right, roll down my window, just like slow down, be like, hey, bro, I've been there, done that.